Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers, back with our monthly roundup. This is a video where we talk about all of the things we've tested over the past month that we really like and we haven't had a chance to talk about in our other videos. So let's jump in and see what we've all picked.
So my first couple of picks this month are both from Oakley. They're their new dedicated running sunglasses, the Corridor and the Actuator glasses. Now, obviously Oakley has made sports sunglasses for many years and loads of them have been very good for running. I was a big fan of the EV0 blades myself for a long time, but these are their first dedicated running sunglasses built from the ground up to meet the needs of runners. The Corridor is the more sporty of the two sets. As you can see, it's got a lighter frame than the Actuator, just that top rim there. And you've got the usual stuff you'd expect from sports glasses, like nice nose pads made from rubber, and then the rubber arms there that hold the glasses in place, even as you get very sweaty on the run. They're a very comfortable set of glasses. I was surprised how lightweight they are. I actually quite like the style of the Corridor myself, given that they are sports sunglasses, not quite as aggressively sporty as more cycling-focused models, it's fair to say. And I find them really comfortable to wear for long periods. Nice wide field of vision too. You've got the Prism road lenses in these, but you've got the full Prism range available. There's some really good trail lenses in particular that help you spot things like roots and rocks if you're running on the trails. And then the Actuator is the more casual set of sunglasses in the two. It's a bit heavier as a result. You still have got those rubber nose pads and then rubber arms there to keep the glasses in place on the run. They work very well. Like, I've used both of them on the run. I'd say the Corridor does have a more secure fit for running, but the Actuator's fine. It's great for just mooching around on easy runs. Slightly more normal looking glasses as well that you can then use when you're not running, so that's a bonus. I used these both on a trip to Portugal for Under Armour's recent shoe launch and didn't have any problems with fogging up on sweaty runs, that kind of thing. Even when I was fairly sweaty all round, they weren't slipping around my face or any concerns like that. So there are a couple of new sets of sunglasses from Oakley that are really good for runners. The Actuator cost from £134 or $163, and the Corridor cost from £142 or from $174. That's the cheapest sets in the range. I think most of them are a little bit more than that, but they're all around that area, and you can pick the frame colour and the Prism lens that you want in them. My second pick this month is the Zip Running Commute bag. This is a small company based out in Minneapolis in the US. It's a dedicated running commuter bag. It's 20 litres, although we've got a roll top here and it's quite stretchy, so you can really cram it very, very full if you want to. So as you expect from a running bag like this, you've got chest straps and slightly lower chest straps. It sits quite high on you, this bag, so they couldn't really be called waist straps. You can adjust the length of the straps at the top, at the side here, in the middle, all of which to get a nice tight fit, so when you're running you don't have any kind of bouncing. I found that even when this is quite empty, this bag, it's quite good to run in. You don't get very much bouncing, so I've used it just to run to the track, carrying a pair of shoes and a couple of little bits I might need, and so it's not very full at all and it doesn't bounce. And I've also crammed it full of stuff for the day at the office, things like a laptop and change of clothes, and it's still really nice lightweight bag that sits high against your back and doesn't move around much. The fit of the bag definitely gets better and tighter when it's full for me, and I think that's partly because I was probably slightly in between sizes and I should have gone for the small bag, even though I was a medium if I was looking at the size range based on chest circumference. I think a smaller bag is probably advisable just because you then get the tighter fit, especially around the shoulders. I don't carry a lot of upper body muscle, so probably the smaller bag would have been the one for me in terms of getting a nice tight fit there. The bag is waterproof and it's got loads of dividers inside, including a pocket that's dedicated to the laptop. You've also got a really nice touch, is an external zip pocket. I'll show you here. So on this side, and it's just a nice external pocket on the outside of the bag that you can shove wet clothes in or smelly food or anything that you basically don't want to come into contact with the rest of your work clothes inside the bag. That's ideal. I really like having an external pocket like that. You've also got easy access pockets on the straps and the sides of the bag for things like ID cards and keys and other essentials. And it's even got a little bike light attachment point if you do want to use it for cycling as well. Obviously a very good cycling bag as well. It comes in grey and black and it's fairly pricey. It's $175. Obviously that's a fair chunk of change, but if it makes your run commute more comfortable, you do that more often, you're probably going to save a bit of money on public transport and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a nice bag. It does ship to the UK. Obviously I've got the bag here, but it's only got the pricing in US dollars at the moment on the website. So yeah, that's the Zip Running Commute bag.
Now I'm constantly on the hunt for products that will help avoid the chafe. There's nothing worse than doing long runs, getting home and realised when you get in the shower and that sting happens that you've absolutely ripped a really delicate part of your body through friction. So I'm always on the lookout for good products. Now this one for my first monthly picks is the Lifejacket Anti-Chafe Bar. It's a little bit of a different kind of format, a different sort of approach to chafe products. I really like the Two-Tom Sport Shield Body Glide. You know, you can reach for sort of standard Vaseline. There's a lot of other products that really work, but this one has a few benefits to it. It's made from coconut oil, shea butter, beeswax and jojoba, and it comes in a block bar, which one thing, it makes it really easy to apply. So you're not getting all that kind of muckiness on your hands when you try to sort of put it on. It's really easy to apply in all kinds of areas where you might need to apply it. You know, even with the Sport Shield, it's a bit oily and you can end up with kind of oil on your fingers or on stuff that you don't want to, you know, touch other stuff, so you need to wash your hands, you know, quite thoroughly afterwards. This one, it doesn't quite get into as many different sort of weird sort of places as, you know, it basically goes where you need it to go and not elsewhere is what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, it comes in this kind of handy little box. It's quite small. This one will cost you about £16, so it's not cheap, but I think this will last you, you know, as long as like a Two-Tom Sport Shield. And yeah, there's some other benefits too. You know, you can use it on cracked skin, you can use it on sore bits on your feet to help kind of, you know, soothe over a bit like you might use Vaseline. And yeah, it sort of feels really nice. Again, for me, it's just the format of it that's really the benefit. It's just really easy to apply. And yeah, quite like it. Another product in my anti-chafe arsenal is the Lifejacket Anti-Chafe Bar. Second pick for me is all about fueling again, and this one's actually, it's all about coffee. I drink an awful lot of coffee generally, just in the daytime and sort of for performance, so I'll often have a coffee before I go out and run. And this is from Rawvelo, makers of gels, all natural gels. They've teamed up with Mission Coffee Works, kind of coffee aficionados here based in London, and they've produced this Rawvelo coffee blend. So you can get whole beans or you can get ground, that's kind of ground in the right kind of format for all the different kind of types of coffee maker that you've got. I personally use an old school kind of Italian stovetop, that's how I like it. I make a load of espresso, a big pot, and often I'll have a couple of those. I'll stick the rest in the fridge and then I just remix it over the coming days into Americanos, or I'll have a little shot, you know, before I go out and run, maybe sort of an hour or so before I go out and run for a little boost, or before I want the caffeine to kick in. It's a really nice kind of blend. It's got some kind of good kind of hazelnutty sort of flavors going on there. It's not too strong. I think it's quite nicely balanced. Now the research suggests that you want to get in around 3 to 6 milligrams of caffeine per kilo of body weight. So I'm 80 kilos, so I'm looking at, I don't know what that is, like 240 milligrams of caffeine to get the proper kind of hit. And you want to be drinking it about 60 to 90 minutes before you want to feel the effects of that caffeine. Though all of that kind of can vary. Some people are high responders, some people less. Some people respond quickly, some people it takes a little bit longer. If you drink a lot of coffee, you might not have the same reaction as someone who hasn't had coffee recently. So all of those things can affect kind of how caffeine impacts your performance. But the research suggests that in plenty of people there is a positive response from taking on board caffeine at the right time. Now, as I said, this has been blended specifically for performance. So for a stovetop, you're going to get 196 grams of caffeine per 230 ml cup. That's different from some of the other coffee maker types like a French press or the filters. And a 200 gram bag like this is going to cost you £10. Final pick for me then is a set of headphones that have really surprised me. I did a big test of headphones for fitness for Stuff magazine recently, and that involved getting in kind of some of the more expensive ones, some of the cheaper ones, and these Urbanista Copenhagen wireless headphones are actually at the cheaper end. They're £69. I didn't really expect to get much quality out of them, but they've absolutely blown me away really for the price. They're brilliant value. So what you're going to get here is 8 hours of battery life on the buds. You get 32 hours in total with the case. You get 3 extra charges inside this case. The case is really nice and slimline, really portable, really lightweight. The buds themselves are IPX4 rated, so they're water resistant. They'll handle kind of sweat and water. They're not going to do so well if they get absolutely drenched or you drop them down the sink. Now the audio isn't world beating, but for the price, you know, the quality of the audio is actually really, really solid. It's pretty rich, it's pretty kind of deep, it's kind of got good nuance, it's not too tinny. There's a little bit of customization in the app, but it doesn't go that far. There's no active noise cancellation, so if you really like that, then you're not going to get that. There's no hear-through mode on these either, but I personally don't really mind. I don't really tend to use those features too much, so that's not really a deal breaker for me. And for £69, again, some of those, you know, you're going to have to expect to make a compromise somewhere. Good top volume. The one thing I've really noticed is that calls are great. The mics on these have worked really effectively, better than some much higher priced headphones that I've tested in the past. The fit also isn't quite as Loctite as some other in-ear headphones, or obviously the over-ears. And if you've got really fussy ears, they might fall out. I didn't have any problems with that. That's largely down to the fact that the in-ear buds themselves, they do slot in and they are really light, so there's not too much heavy weight kind of dragging them out of the ears. They haven't fallen out once on any of the runs that I've done so far. So overall, yeah, I've got them in here because at £69, I think these offer absolutely excellent value for money. There's a good all-round package. They're not going to get best audio quality ever, but I think they're a bargain for the price. And yeah, well worth looking at. These are the Urbanista Copenhagen wireless headphones.
So my first pick this month is a nice, easy one. It's a t-shirt. It's from a company called UJanji that make running kit, outdoor kit for trail runners, for road runners. Just nice kit, really. This is the UJanji Run All Day tee. Now, it's always quite difficult to talk about t-shirts because good t-shirts are all generally the same. It's quite a thin design. It's quite comfortable. It's quite loose fitting. But I think the thing I like about this top is that it is really good when you sweat a lot. So I've been sweating quite a bit recently in my training runs, and it just does a really good job at staying dry, wicking the moisture off. But the thing I like about it is that it fits me really well. So I'm a little bit bigger built than some of the other run testers, and sometimes when I try running tops, they can be a little bit tight, not very comfortable. This one, which I wear in a medium, it's nice and relaxed fit, so it's very comfortable to wear, and it just feels nice when you're out running. And I think it will be quite good when the summer comes as well, because it's doing a good job with the sweat at the moment. Apparently it's got some anti-odor technology in it. I haven't really been wearing it enough to really notice any odors problems, but it has that in it, and it has some UV protection, things like that in it as well. But really it's just a solid, comfortable, nice top to wear if you get hot. They also come in quite a few nice colorways as well, so there's a few nice designs that you can look at on the website. My second pick this month are the CEP infrared recovery socks. Now these are compression socks which have clever technology in them designed to beam heat back into your legs. I don't know too much about the science of compression. I know it's an area of debate as to how it affects the legs, but what I have found with compression socks is that I generally use them because I get quite a lot of calf injuries, so I do tend to wear compression socks when I am running because I like to have the extra little bit of support around my calf. Just feels like it's held in place a little bit nicer. So I'm not going to review these from the point of view of if compression works or not. I'm just going to review them from the perspective of, are they comfortable, are they nice? And yes, they're very good. So I've just come back from Barcelona Marathon last week and my legs have been in tatters all week. So I have been wearing these around the house quite a bit. I haven't ran since doing the Barcelona Marathon, so I've not really been running in these a lot. But as socks go, as compression socks go, they're very comfortable. They're not too tight, but they do have a nice level of compression in them so that you can feel it a bit, but it's not uncomfortable. So if you're wearing them walking around the house, they're very comfortable to wear. They're not a restrictive pair of compression socks at all. And yeah, I just think they're good quality. I've had a few pairs of CEP compression socks before and I've used them quite a lot. They all still look pretty much like they're almost new from the ones that I've been wearing, and I race in them a lot and I do a lot of runs in them. So I do think CEP are good quality compression socks. And yeah, these are pretty much feel the same as the other ones I've got. But if you're looking for some compression socks and you want to investigate the world of recovery when it comes to socks, then I think they're a good option to go for. Okay, my third pick this month is a pair of bone conduction headphones that I've actually talked about when I did my Barcelona Marathon race test video. Now these are the Creative Outlier Free Pro bone conduction headphones. Now this is the only other pair of bone conduction headphones I've tried as well as Shocks. So I was quite interested to see how they compared with Shocks. I've tried basically every version of Shocks' headphones that have come out, and I'm a big fan of Shocks. I think they're very good for racing and running in busy areas and things like that. So when I found out about the Creative Outlier Free Pros, I was really interested because I tested quite a lot of Creative headphones out over the past couple of years. And I think they're really good. I do find that the sound is really good on Creative headphones. So when I tested these out, I was very impressed. I think they're a very good pair of headphones. I think the sound is equal, if not slightly better than what you get from a lot of Shocks headphones. The only difference is that they are a little bit bigger than Shocks, so they're not as comfortable as something like the Shocks Minis, which are just very small, very lightweight. These are a little bit chunkier. They feel a bit bigger on the head, and it just feels like there's a bit more to these bone conduction headphones. But one of the nice things about these, which is interesting over Shocks, is that they have 8 gigabytes of memory storage in there. So you can put music straight onto the headphones and you don't need your phone or anything like that, or your Garmin or anything to go running with them, which is a really nice feature to have on a pair of buds, which Shocks don't do. The other thing as well is apparently you can swim in them. I haven't tested that yet. I don't do a lot of swimming, but that's another nice feature as well. So even though I'd say shocks are probably better designed and they look a bit nicer and they're a little bit lighter, I think there's more features on these that make them an interesting option if you're looking for those sorts of features over and above what you get from shocks.
So this is the Lululemon. It's like a half zip, kind of like, I think they call it scuba. I think it's a scuba half zip. It's £108. So it's not the cheapest on the market. There are obviously lots more cheap kind of jumpers. It's a big sweatshirt, but I absolutely love it. I have lived in it since I got it in. It has this wonderful kind of half zip design that goes quite low, so you can really like open it up if it gets too hot. It's a great layer. I've been using this when I go to the track and then I get in the car and I'm a little bit kind of sweaty, cold, but you know, it's like a warm layer, perfect for at the moment where 1 minute is hot, the next minute it's raining and freezing. It's really fleecy on the inside, really soft and warm. There's a little kind of thumb holes on the sleeve, but you'd never run in this, but you know, they're there if you want them. And there's a clever kind of little tech pocket in the kind of big pocket across your tummy. There's a little mesh pocket in here that you can put your phone in. So you know, if you do take it off or decide to cartwheel in it, your phone's not going to fly out. But I absolutely love this. There's a version with a hood as well. This is one that just, it's got quite a high neck, but I really rate it. I've worn it pretty much non-stop, and this is kind of like a purpley blue colour. But yeah, that's my top pick. Next up is the Twilight quarter zip from Tracksmith. I've worn this a lot. It's been perfect for, I've worn it a lot in the winter actually with like a base layer underneath, and now we're getting into spring, I'm wearing it with just a sports bra, and it's a really lovely kind of lightweight, super light. You can kind of see it's really thin, but super lightweight layer for days where you're kind of, you know, like I said, it gets hot and then cold and raining and then dry, and you want to kind of play with your layers. This is perfect. Again, little thumb holes, a half zip, so you can kind of control that, and just super light, so when you're not, you know, if I've gone out on a run and then I don't need it, I can tie it around my waist or pop it in my, you know, running vest, and it's not really weighing me down. But absolutely love it. I've washed it loads. The one drawback is it does show up sweat marks, so you're going to look a bit sweaty at the end of a hard session in it, but who cares about that really? It's absolutely great. It comes in 5 different colours. It's like a kind of bottle green, but yeah, really beautiful. Looks great on, and I've worn it so much, and it's not bobbled, it's not gone smelly, it's not gone funny in the washing machine. Absolutely love it. And then finally, I've been wearing this for probably about 3-4 months now, but I don't think we've done a video on it yet. We probably will. But it's the Oura Ring. This is the second, can't get it off now, there we go, the second generation one, so it's a fully round one. And I was a bit skeptical about it, I'll be the first one to admit this. I think when people started wearing fitness rings, I was a bit like, come on, there are millions of watches that do it, why would you buy another item? But I think, firstly, on days where I don't want to look like I'm wearing like a fitness watch, it looks like a bit of jewellery. I mean, it is a chunky ring, but you wouldn't kind of, it doesn't scream fitness tracker at you. But more than that, I think I've worn the Whoop before, and I found, while I liked the Whoop, I found the amount of data super overwhelming. I found the app quite difficult to understand what I was looking at, and you know, I took it off and I didn't miss looking at it every morning. Whereas the Oura Ring is really clever. It breaks things down really beautifully, your sleep, your heart rate. I use it to track my periods, I use it, you know, calories, everything, and it's really easy to see what you're looking at. And it's really, I'm paying £5 a month now for the membership because I find it so useful. I find the sleep score really useful. I find the period tracking really useful. So yeah, I'm a big fan, and I don't think I've talked about it at all on the Run Test. Thought I'd chuck it in my monthly essentials, but yeah, really rate this.
So that's it from us. Thanks a lot for watching our monthly roundup this month. Don't forget to check out the channel for all the other videos we've got, and like and subscribe and click the little bell and all those different things. And if you go into the caption below, you can find a link to our podcast as well. So if you listen to that and you like it, leave us a little review, and that would be very nice. Right, catch you later.